welcome everybody. It is the Silver Squeeze 2.0 is on. Silver's hitting record highs, gold, copper going crazy, crypto going wild. So I'm here with the boys. My name is Michael Camo. I'm director of content for T3 Live, and I'm here with Sami, Abusaad, Derrick, Oldensmith, and JR Romero. So we're going to jump right into Bitcoin. So Sami, I saw you're getting into the RP ETF today. JR, I heard this morning you're talking about all the garbage, MicroStrategy and Mara and all those other ones. So
yeah, we
why is
started
Bitcoin going up
names
here?
a week ago. I don't know. I don't care. The chart said buy. I started buying things last week. So.
Right. I talked about it last week, how Bitcoin hourly chart was turning the corner. It's worth a shot, even though I didn't really love the weakness in Bitcoin, but I thought it was worth a shot. And I've been telling the same thing in the room. But it's not that I still made mistakes. I got 2,000 shares of the IBIT in my IRA account, but I got shaken out of MSTR, which I also talked about last week. So there you go. So I'm happy that it went up, but I'm not thrilled that I don't have the MSTR. There you go.
Very, very sad. Derrick, are you tempted to get involved with this trash again?
Oh yeah, exact same thought process. Called out the original long basically to start the year off, and then we called out for like a new secondary long yesterday morning. One of the traders in the team that I work with brought to my attention the idea of like a pairs trade, long crypto, short the shiny metals, which I kind of like as a pairs trade. Silver's still holding in really well today so far, but short silver, gold, long Bitcoin, Ethereum. And, make no mistake about it. I think anybody that knows me pretty well knows that while I do have some belief in the value of gold and silver, I have no belief at all in the value of cryptocurrencies. But yet I would rather be short something where I think there's value and long something where I think there's not. And that's because that's what the technicals are telling me to do.
What about the Instagram value? Did you ever think about that?
I've never been the big social media bug, man. It's I probably should do a better job of like posting cool pictures when I'm trading in cool places because that'd make me look cool, but I don't do that.
I'm gonna have you day trading from a canoe.
I have always wanted to put a trade on a ski lift. I've traded multiple times in ski resort parking lots, but I have never traded from the actual lift. So I got to do that at some point.
I've been trying to get Sami to trade Tesla stock from his self-driving Tesla car.
I never thought of it, but I use FSD every single time I drive. It's that good.
Yeah, I saw Elon just changed it to it's going to a monthly subscription. I don't know if they announced the price
for years. It's been a monthly subscription for a long time.
No, but you could buy it for life on the car.
Yeah, you can own it.
And you can do monthly subscription, whatever you want.
They're getting rid of the ownership aspect of it. And I think if you own it, you can even transfer it to like a new Tesla if you were to get a new Tesla. But they're getting rid of that. That was an announcement this morning and about.
Oh, I see.
Okay, all right. So, all right. Also, we're seeing copper's going wild. Also, uranium, everything metals is going crazy. So, do you guys think this has legs? Like, is this they've been doing well? Is it going to keep on going?
I think I looked at some of the individual stocks, and honestly, they still look higher. But as far as something like silver, I wouldn't get involved because to me, the move is already in. It's a matter of time before it tops out. So the actual ETF, but some of the individual stocks, they definitely look higher still. So I'm not sure. I'm not getting involved. I'm waiting for actually PSLV, not PSLV, SLV. PSLV is a different stock, is a silver stock. I'm waiting for SLV to top out so I can short it. I shorted it yesterday. It was up like $700, but then it rallied back into the close, and I got out of it for a small gain. But the thing is, when the stock is climactic, I want to see it close weak. If it closes strong, usually it means it's going higher the next day. So I don't keep something If I'm trying to pick a top, I need to see confirmation before the end of the day, because otherwise I could be in for a gap against me, basically. So ended up closing it. I haven't tried it today, but I'm keeping an eye on it. I don't think it's quite ready yet.
Okay, all right. So earnings season has started. It seems kind of crappy so far. The bank's not doing so hot. JR, I saw you got rid of your Morgan Stanley into earnings. How would you describe the tone right now of earnings?
It's still usual. It's slow in the beginning.
I love JR laughs right in my face.
No, I just I don't know if anybody listened to the Jamie Dimon's comments. They're very cautionary. There are many macroeconomic crosswinds they're deeply concerned about. They're concerned about the stability of the dollar, the treasury market, the overnight repo market, and it doesn't take a genius. And I'm not making a political statement, but it doesn't take a genius to look historically at executive branch interventions in central banking to see what happens next. In other countries, so there's some very deep-seated concerns, that rightfully so, about a complete and total crisis of confidence in a central bank that's dominated by a premier president, prime minister, or other type of executive leader. And I think that we're seeing a lot of concerns across the board in the banking sector because of that.
Who cares about
Are
what
you
Jamie
criticizing
Dimon
our
has
dear
to say?
leader?
I certainly care about what Jamie Dimon. I think he's a smart guy.
I'm only joking.
Okay. Yeah.
I feel Jamie Dimon's he's always been pretty conservative, which is smart.
If you think about it, he's like the biggest risk manager in the world, so it makes sense for him to always be focused on the risks that are persistent. So he's always bearish, he's always wrong. But funny enough, I actually thought that he was less bearish this time around, which isn't to say that it wasn't bearish, but he said the economy is going well, the consumer is holding up, and I was like, oh, is that positive commentary?
Yeah, with Kolanovic gone, somebody has to take the torch.
All right. Okay, moving on. All right, we're going to get into some fun evergreen topics. So, we talk a lot about process, but is there a time when you let your gut override process, like the chart setup, clear, whatever, something is clear as day according to your method, but your gut says to do the other thing?
Hell
Do you
yeah.
ever do that?
Yes. When I see proof that my gut is right, when I'm in the zone and I'm like printing, then you just go with it, because the proof is in the pudding. The proof is, you can see it. You're making money. So I just go for it when I'm making money and I'm on fire. I don't care about the process at that point, because I can tell I'm in the zone, I'm locked in, I'm printing money. So yeah, that's when I trust my gut.
That's what we need to look into, some like nootropics or something that can generate that mind. How about you JR? Because I know JR, you're pretty methodical. I saw I've looked at your courses are insane. There's Wyckoff and there's phases and market shifts and all this stuff. But do you ever just have a feeling?
No. My mentor used to always say, "Fuck your feelings." So look at the damn chart. So I tease Sami a little bit about his methodology being so technical, but I am just as bad most of the time. I like to look at some other things because of the narrative and sentiment and things like that. But as a trader, the only thing that matters is price, and that's what the chart prints. So here's the thing. Now, I don't mean to get like a little esoteric, right? But we're as traders, we're basically these giant heuristic databases of trillions of data points over time, right? And when we get hunches all the time, and I get a lot of hunches that I'm right a lot as a trader. I'm also wrong a lot, but I'm right a lot. Sometimes it really starts as a hunch, this sort of feeling like I've seen this movie before. But what you're really doing is you're querying a database of trillions of transactions over decades, and like you may not realize it, but I think subconsciously a lot of traders like will find the technical case because subconsciously, like you've seen this chart, you've seen this sentiment, you've seen this print, you've seen this order flow so many times before that it just sort of appears as intuition. But I don't, I'm not a, I don't align my chakras and like this is just like the data set in your computer. And then you have to be very rational in markets. You're not paid to have feelings. You're paid to ignore your feelings, and you're paid to run toward danger, which is not a fun thing to do for most people. But this is the business,
I totally
Derrick,
agree.
how about you? Do you ever just throw the process out the window and just go with your gut?
Only if I
one
want to
time
lose
I bought
money.
Picard. I bought the Picard stock. I bought one share of Picard. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm very, very methodical in my trading. For me, everything is about the process. Everything is about the game plan and having the discipline to be able to follow it, to the point where if my game plan says to do one thing and my gut says to do the complete and utter opposite, I follow what the game plan says to do every single time, even when occasionally it's to the detriment of me. I do think that there is something to be said about gut for a seasoned trader, because you've just seen so many charts and so many occurrences over so long that you kind of ingrain your brain almost into how markets move and into how charts move. But I just don't think that is a consistent approach. And I think that the goal of a trader is to be consistently profitable. And the only way I can be consistently profitable is I have a consistent approach, and gut is never going to be consistent. So I would rather lose money following a game plan that I think could be wrong because my gut's saying the opposite than make money by just willy-nilly saying, I think that this is what's going to happen, and then just completely changing everything.
I mean, this guy thinks Chipotle is Mexican food. How's he going to listen to his gut?
I don't think Chipotle is Mexican food. Chipotle is American food, but it's great.
I have something to say, if I may. One of the biggest aha moments for me happened, I don't know when it happened, honestly. Probably 16 years ago or so. My girlfriend, well, I was having a hard week. I was just not doing well. And my girlfriend, on her way out to work, came into the office and tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Do what feels good today." And I said, "Thanks, hon. Have a good day, whatever." And as soon as she got out of the house, it occurred to me, I started to think about it. I was like, do what feels good? I never do what feels good. I always do what I think is right, which is following my trading plan, which is, being very methodical. But that was a huge moment for me, an epiphany, really, because I started to trade in a way that feels good, but also falls within the context, within my trading plan, basically. So that was huge for me. Some people say, you should completely ignore your feelings. Would I be a profitable trader if I ignored my feelings, if I ignored my my instinct or my gut feelings? I wouldn't. So I trade, I am methodical, and I know what my rules are. I know what I'm looking for. I know exactly what I'm looking for, but I also trade in a way that feels good, that feels right. And that was the moment that really changed a lot of things for me in my trading.
Yeah, whenever a woman tells me do what feels good, I know I'm being set up for a trap. I know immediately I have to do the opposite of what you just said. Sorry, go on.
No, it's okay, Jared. No, but it isn't a big part of this just knowing yourself and knowing when you're out of whack?
Of course, 100%. So ignoring your feelings, ignoring how you feel is dumb. because then you're not yourself. I'm not saying
No.
you should not be methodical and follow your trading plan to the T, but you should also follow your instinct, because you've seen those charts before. You've been in that experience before. That's what intuition is. You've been there before. People think, oh, that's intuition. No, it's you've had that experience before, but you're just not aware of it. You're not able to connect the dots on the spot. So I do both. And this is why sometimes people in the room say, well, you got to your target of 5 hours for the day, or six risk units for the day, like $3,000. Why don't you just stop? Would I ever have a $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 day if I just stop? I wouldn't. So if I'm on fire, I just keep going. I follow my gut instinct more than my trading plan at that point in time. Mic drop. Just kidding. Just kidding.
My mentor used to always say, "You're only over trading if you're wrong, buddy." Because when I would go on a win streak in the beginning of my career, I would stop after a certain profit target or after a certain number of trades, and he'd slap me in the back of the head and go, "What are you doing? Time to hit the gas pedal, buddy. You're only over trading if you're wrong."
Exactly. It goes actually against the golden rule of trading, which is to let your profits run, which also means if you're on fire, don't stop yourself short. Keep going. Even if you reach your target, keep going. But learn to also protect the gains. That's part of the game. So you're up, you reach your target. Okay, well, protect 80%. So you don't give it all back, but you might double your target, triple, quadruple, whatever. Keep going if you're on fire. And you're never going to be on fire if you're not in sync with your feelings. If you're not in, if you're not trading with your whole being, that's what I mean. So I'm trading with when I'm in sync with the market and I'm doing well, I'm trading with my whole being. I'm following my trading plan, following my methodology, but I'm also trading from within.
But is it hard to like push on the gallons pedal?
Is it
like,
what?
It's difficult to actually press harder. Like you're on not streak and things are going well.
You're having audio issues, Mike.
You're having audio issues. You're cutting in and out.
What? Son of a bitch. Hold on. Let me.
You sound like Max Headroom.
Fucking internet must be insufficient.
Turn off the game of Quake, Mike.
Maybe just log out, log back in.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
See, this is what happens when Kamo plays Doom at work. It's all about that bandwidth, man. How's the day going, guys? You guys having a good day?
Today, not so great, honestly. The day trading part.
My internet just dropped real quick there, and I'm back. But I just wanted to add on to actually something that Mike Kamo said there that I thought was a pretty solid point. While I'm not a big believer in trading with my gut, I do think that there's a lot of value in understanding how you feel in a given day. Sometimes you're just off for some reason. You didn't get a good night's sleep last night. You went out and you had a few too many drinks. Your girlfriend got into a fight with you, whatever it is. And if you're not in the right headspace, it's really important to be able to recognize that and say to myself or say to yourself, I know I'm not in the right headspace today. Therefore, I should be more selective on my trades. I should be risking less on the trades that I put on, not as aggressive today, things like that. And also when you know everything is lined up, you feel great, the market's fully there, that's when you go for it. That's when the big upside's available to you.
Okay, so Rick, I have a question for you because you've trained so many traders and been on professional trading floors. Like, have you ever sent somebody home, like a trader that, like, whatever, maybe they came in hungover, smelling like tequila? Have you ever been like you don't have your shit together, go home?
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, I've gotten a lot more patient and kind in my old age. But back in the day when I was first starting like a physical trading floor at T3's office, and I was in my 20s and I was fighting professionally, I had no patience, and I ran a tight ship. If you showed up 10 minutes late, I'd kick your ass out and say, "Go home and don't come back. Come back tomorrow." So all kinds of stuff like that. But it was different times. It was fun to abuse the junior traders back in the day, but I am not that way anymore. I don't really have the patience for it.
But like, do
Anything.
you think new traders need to have their asses kicked a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, you never heard about how Peter Dartley used to throw peanut butter and jelly sandwiches at his traders when they would piss him off?
Do you know how many sandwich runs I've been on? How many falafel runs I've been on for like 38 dudes with the most strambotic requests you could possibly imagine? I want a dollop of white sauce in each falafel. One guy used to make me put the white sauce inside the falafel through a straw. All right.
Where do you come up with these stories?
Are the worst.
No.
Have you ever worked at an institutional trading desk? It's a freaking nightmare.
No,
talk about hazing. You don't need a frat. Just go work at a fund.
Yeah, when I was in high school, I actually worked at a restaurant delivering food like on Wall Street, and the thing I dreaded was delivering to a trading floor. Because it was like because it's like
Intense.
Honestly, the biggest bunch of fucking animals I've ever seen, because they just walk up to the box and take stuff out. They don't care. Complaining about everything, cleaning stuff was missing. Oh my God, it was absolute nightmare.
Dude, I got a pepperoni pizza thrown at me like a frisbee when I was at Mercer Capital. I was like, okay, not kosher.
What did you deserve it?
No, they were just hazing the new guy. Horrific.
I saw a guy throw a chair at another guy one time, but he deserved it. And I one time ripped my mouse out of my computer and threw it like a baseball at a guy's head as hard as I possibly could. He ducked and it smashed off the wall. But it's back in the day. It's not like that anymore.
We got to work on your throwing arm, Derrick.
I was accurate. He just moved. He was good at dodgeball or something.
Nice.
Oh man, that's funny. Okay, all right. Moving on. So let's look forward out into the future. I almost sold my 5 shares of Tesla today, but since I was up all night sick, I figured I shouldn't make any serious decisions about my 5 shares of Tesla today. So anyway, who's got ideas? Because I might have to put that money to work soon.
Let's see, ideas. I'm in BABA also. That's pretty good. I'm in the yen, but it's down today. Let me just take a look real quick. Ideas. I called the zone. I mean, do you want me to show my charts?
Sure. I love charts.
Okay. All right.
Let me see your big, beautiful chart, Sammy.
Will do. Share screen. Window. So, can you see my charts? Yeah, there you go. So I have a call. This triggered. It's a penny stock, but it looks actually good. Higher. Zone. Triggered already, but it's 5 cents ago. It's not too late, I think. I like it. I'm in the BABA, but I think it's way up there to chase. I got it on this day. It was my 3rd try that I got it. I like some of the China stocks a lot. Your Starbucks looks pretty good, but it's just a big stop. But I think Starbucks looks higher. Mike, that's your idea. I think that looks good. Stopped. Yeah, so what's that?
It can't be stopped.
It can't be stopped. SEDG I'm watching. It's I'm not 100% sure about this, but it's a watch as a long-term play off the monthly. So watching that as a longer term play. Here's Bitcoin, that nice turn. So here's the hourly chart on it, which I talked about last week. Beautiful, but stupid me, I didn't think to look at the ETHE, which had the same exact chart, and actually was ETHE, and would have been able to get it up until yesterday. but it just didn't occur to me to look at it for some reason. XRP is okay, not great. WB is a China stock that looks higher to me, longer term, but also short term looks okay. I'm sorry, I'm just going over my list here. LAC maybe over $6. $6, stop under 538. Now it doesn't look amazing on the daily chart, but look at that monthly. Looks nice. Look at the weekly. Looks okay. It's a deep pullback, but looks good. Z-Lab is a China stock, very weak, but it's looking higher. That's the daily chart, monthly, daily. So not a ton of ideas. I like the crypto stuff, XRP, BSOL, ETHE, but those are a little bit late. I like the yen, the CWEB, the China stocks, basically. Not amazing. I like the LAC, and I like the Starbucks. Those are kind of the things that I like at the moment.
Beautiful. Thank you, Sami.
Sure.
Who else is ready to step up?
I got a couple ideas.
I know you do, JR. You're the best. Behind Sami. And behind Derrick.
And behind Mike.
All right, hold on.
You know, it was funny that conversation before. I was laughing because all of my best investments I ever made were literally made on a gut.
I've said this before. Your gut instinct is what puts you at the gate to profitability. You can, that's a quote. It's what puts you right at the gate.
Yeah, I mean, I think so much of analysis and research is just like confirmation bias anyway. You're just like looking for reasons you're right.
That's a good point. I agree. I'm not saying we shouldn't have a method. We should, but we should also flow with things.
I think we need more heart. Forget the method.
I agree.
I actually think, yeah, I wonder if that would work. I'm going to see if T3 Live can like sponsor you guys and just give you money, like to say, you know, just buy whatever feels good. And if you lose money, you lose money. No big deal. All right, JR, please take it away.
All right, sure.
And be serious. No more laughing.
No more laughing. I know the banks have had a rough go of it. I'm watching IBKR here into earnings, looking for a breakaway gap above 73.5. I think we have the juice here for a move to the upper trend line into mid-February, about $105. Looks good to me. So we're basing. We're up over all the main moving averages, primary points of control, and I'm looking for that earnings breakaway gap for a sequence to 105. So it'd be about a 30% gainer. I've been playing a lot of bases off the bottom here. So you got a transitional setup. This is your accumulation zone here. Break of 1089. I think you got 1420, 14 and a quarter. Fermi Inc. I don't know what these guys do. It's a financial. I really like this rounding bottom base. Looking for a gap and go off the 1089 buy zone. I think this looks good. Hilton Grand Vacations. I've been watching this one for a while. This one needs to base for a couple more weeks. You can see here, this thing's really gone sideways for the past 2 to 3 years, and I think we're getting ready for that break of 56.30. It's a $23 measured move to $79.80. SLP. This is a more technical play. So SLP Simulations Plus. Here's what I like about it. Doesn't do a whole lot of volume on the day, but you had a nice rounding bottom, a shallow channel, and then a big shakeout here. Probably trapped a bunch of shorts, and you're getting very tight here on the daily. Once they crack 2010, I'm expecting a move to $28, $27. Looks good. I think we're going to see big movement in the airlines and the cruise lines. I'm watching the CCL, the Carnival Cruise Lines here for a nice shallow base to develop on the weekly. I think this needs 2 or 3 more weeks, but that break of $33, boy, I think we get a quick move to 40 and then probably $50, $60. This looks great to me. Iron, we played with iron a lot back in the August to October move. What I like about iron here is you had a very crooked. You could call this a rounding bottom. You could call this an inverse head and shoulders. Whatever you want to call it is fine with me. But essentially, you've pinched the 50-day. You've pinched the pivot high anchored VWAP here, and any kind of reaccumulative, constructive reaccumulative pullback back to the 50-day, I think, is going to give us a curl back to at least a 50% retracement. You got a volume gap fill in terms of transactional volume at 54.25, and then top of value 58.65. Once you get through 58.65 on that pullback to like $48, it's going to be a very quick ascent through all this prior topping thin structure back to the high. So I like iron already in BIS, which is doing great. BCE, we played this one back in July. Caught a big move here to the 35 handle from the 31s. And now you just triggered a secondary buy zone here. I don't know why I have these squiggles on my chart. That's weird. You have a minor overhead supply zone at 34.60, and then looking for a target at 36.50. Looks good. This one I missed the boat on. We were looking at this buy setup here off of earnings. I'm looking for any pullback to the 121 handle for a move to 130. TMQ with the renewed China freakout at hand. I like this nice tight shallow base here for a break of 548, looking for 650 and 781. Got really thin structure to the left on this initial push higher. CLH, we're already in. Yeah, that's what I got, boss. No laughing the whole time. Look at that. Look, mono hands.
Excellent. Very serious, very professional show. I love it. All right. Derrick, you want to step up?
What you got, man?
Yeah, so first of all, I'm short the semiconductors. I think you kind of needed to have it from either yesterday or at least at the open in order to be able to take it. But I've got SMH and SOXL short off the little topping candle from yesterday. It's kind of almost into my first target now, but I think it's going to go a little bit deeper than this. So taking some off, but also keeping some. The metals are close. Silver's close. There's still an underlying bit of this thing that it just feels like it can't seem to break, but we're close. So I'm really looking for a signal. Off the open, we called for a short in SLV through 83, which is working okay, but we're not getting any follow through on it yet. But I think we're close. It's starting to go parabolic. If they can close this thing weak today, that might be it. I'm short SLV, AGQ. I'm long ZSL, which is the 2x levered inverse. Silver. I'm short GLD. I'm short GDX. So I've got exposure with like 5 different metal related plays here, all on the short side. 4 out of the 5 of them I put on today. What else? I mentioned a week ago that I really like OIH, and I still really like OIH. It's just starting to extend. So anybody that took that call, that was the low post Venezuela when we were doing our thing last Wednesday, I would book a little bit of profit here, but just because it started to extend higher. But I want to re-engage this trade on pullbacks and consolidations still. So that one is still very heavily on my watch list. The OIH, particularly big fan of the SLB right now, but it's another one just extending a little bit too far at this point, so you can't chase that. But viable dips, sideways action. I think that we are going into a little bit of a structural change here with some of these oil names that have more or less, if you look at like XLE or OIH, been going sideways for quite some time. And these things are starting, like, look at this XLE chart. I guess I'm not sharing my charts right now. I'll try to pull it up really quick. Entire screen, boom, boom. Like, look at this XLE like weekly chart here. It's like really starting to break up post this news. And the OIH is the one that I think is where the relative strength is, and that's kind of leading higher with this daily chart pattern here. Again, this was last Wednesday when we called it out for the dip buy versus 300 and continuing higher. So I really like this stuff for continuation. I think that there's something changing there structurally. At the same time, short the metals is for a trade. Not marrying that, but short the metals for a trade here. This SLV is really, really extending. I was telling the team this morning, it's just like we need a signal. Like, you could try to short it right through 83 right off the open because you're shorting it on the way down and see what it can do. But otherwise, we need a signal because when you're dealing with parabolic moves, it's like, does it stop at 79? Does it stop at 82? Does it stop at 92? Does it stop at 97? In some regards, your guess is as good as mine in a parabolic move, but we can find the signal that sets up the risk reward for the move lower. And this silver is just getting really, really extended here. So I'm pretty short across the board. And I was just mentioning this semiconductor little topping tail here. You look at like the run that Micron has had. This is actually a bull wedge here, but I think that this is going to break lower from a failed move can come a fast move. And then obviously the SanDisks of the world have just been insane. I'm not touching this SanDisk. I wouldn't touch this with your money, Mike, in either direction. Just too crazy, too hard. Silver might be starting to break right now. Let's go. That's it.
Derrick, check out IXC. It's the Global Energy ETF.
What is it?
IXC.
IXC.
Yeah, it tends to lead. It tends to lead the XLE.
Okay.
It's a really interesting intermarket relationship there. On
this thing's also a massive big picture breakout right now.
Yeah, in our room, we've been calling for an IXC breakout for the last couple of months, and we've been very bullish on energy too. I see that there's some parallel thinking there.
Love that.
Very nice.
I love when all three of us, like even with the crypto stuff, when we started today, all three of us get on and have the exact same thought process, and we might be coming from little different places about it. But I don't know about you guys, that helps with my own conviction on a trade when it's like, I like it for the reasons I like it. And then Sammy's like, I like it for the reasons that I like it. And JR is like, I like it for the reason that I like it. And I'm like, let's go.
That's right.
All right, awesome. Okay, so Derrick has called it. Silver is done. He has big khram. Okay, guys, thank you for joining us.
You mean but whatever.
Everybody have a wonderful day. Good luck out there. Remember, Taiwan Semi reports earnings tomorrow, so do a bunch of banks. So the action will continue, and we will be back next week. Everybody, again, have a great day.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, guys.